correction later. And because of that, I had to do it that time. And you know, at times we just like, okay, we want to prove a point to people, so that people will understand that this thing my husband is doing. No, me, I'm a holier than holy woman. No, me, I'm a very humble, from a very humble background, and I'm a woman that don't tolerate nonsense. And because of that, you want to do certain correction. And you know, while you are doing that, you're actually not letting the man down. You're actually giving yourself a name as a wife, that somebody will just complain and say, "Kai, this woman, if he can speak with this man outside like this, I wonder how she's treating him inside the house," which means she doesn't even have respect. So you give yourself a tag that is not supposed to be. So, and if you go to Proverbs 31 verse 28, it says, "Her children arise and call her blessed." There is a reason why your children should be able to arrive, why your children should be able to get up and they say, my mother is a blessing, or my father's wife is a blessing, which is my mother is a blessing. Why? Because there's a standard you have set. There's a point you have laid down for them. There's something they have seen that they can hit their hand on their chest and say, no, my mother has actually been an impact. So even in raising children, in communication with your children, communication with your spouse, communication with everyone around you or your workers goes a long way to telling your personality, to telling how loving you are or how crude you can be. Some people, just because of that one encounter they had with you, that woman, she's very wicked though. They don't call it principle. They call it wickedness. That woman, she's very wicked. Why? Because the manner at which you talk to people like they are nobodies. Who are you? You as if, where are you coming from? And some of us still have that same manner with our husband, because maybe we have been opportune to also be in a place where we feel, okay, I can do what you are doing. So what do you want to tell me as a man? So how do you really communicate? And look at, in that same verse, they say her husband also, and he praises her. There's no man that will praise the wife when the wife does not even accord a little respect to him. See, respect is in communication. Respect is not in is not in action. Respect for me is in communication. Yes. Respect for me is in communication. It's not about action. It's not about coming to kneel down, you genuflect and tell the man, good morning, sir. They'll say, oh, the wife is so respectful. The wife used to bend down to greet the wife. Respect is in communication. You actually communicate respect. And however way you communicate it is the way he sees it. So that's the reason why a man can say, she's not respectful. That's the reason why a man can say, she doesn't respect me. Why? Because there's a way you communicate in your house. There's a way you communicate with him. There's a point you have, there's this platform you have created. There's an atmosphere you have actually created in your home that your husband sees, and your husband either see it as respect or as disrespect. So there's so much lapses in the communication so many of us have in our home. You see, there's something I'm learning. Maybe because of the way we were, we knew ourselves in the university, we got married, and we are just living like friends. So there are some things I even see some women do for their husband, and would just like, for me, I'm just like, I wish I can just. It's not as if it's difficult, but because I see him more as a friend, I see him more as an equal, so we just flow. But still, those things, the way I see it, at times it offends my husband, and he just feels like you don't respect me. But the way I am taking it might not even be the way he's taking it. And this is where communication comes in. And recently I told him, I said, for us to just avoid all this small nagging, if I do you something, point it out to me. Let me be sure that, okay, this thing I did got to you and it got to you wrongly. And if you do something to me also, I will just let you know. Why? Because if we don't communicate at times, you might have good intention, but that good intention might actually be tagged as a bad intention. It might be misinterpreted in a manner that you never really planned it. So it's very important that if you must respect, you must also learn what communication is, because respect is actually communication. Respect is in communication. Respect is not by, okay, I arrange food for him in a big tray, I bring it and I now say, my lord, I drop it on the table and he will not like, oh, this is my wife. He's such a very good wife, very humble, very respectful. Yes, all those things are do, but the first respect is in communication. Do you know you can actually put that food in a very golden tray, bring it, drop it, and what follows next can make the man not to eat that food? So I'm actually talking to women today. I'm talking to women this evening. Sit back and characterize your communication with your husband. Start assessing it. Some of these little challenges we are having in our marriage, where is it generating from? Some of these little problems, some of this little nagging, have I also played my role as a wife with respect? Have I also played my role as a woman that is humble? Have I also played my role as a mother to my children and to my husband? Yes, because we're also their mothers. Have I also played my role? It's not mother as to come and boss them around you. Mother as in caring, protectiveness, and loving. The same love we show our children, that should be the same level of love. In fact, higher, that we will show our husbands. Because without them, those children are not there. You are called a mother today because there's somebody on your head. My father gave me a name and he said husband is respect. And that is the meaning of the name my father called me till he passed on. Husband is respect. The reason why you can be celebrated today, somebody is sending you a message to tell you Happy Mother's Day, is because there's a man that made you a mother. So until you recognize this fact that you did not just become a mother from being a woman, then you will learn to also ascribe respect to whom is due. So let us learn communication as a skill. Yes, you might have been doing so well in the area of communication, but still, you need a little endurance in that area where you are still struggling with, where it's as if it doesn't change today, as if the world is crushing on your head. Where it's as if my husband don't change today, it means that he doesn't love me. He loves you. But even that change that you are scampering for, it could be that the way you are also communicating that change to come, it's not the best of it all. So it's very important we learn communication in a different dimension, in a dimension where we know that we build our marriage, in a dimension where we know that it will help our marriage, in a dimension where we know that to an extent I have also contributed to the success of this marriage, or I have actually been a contributing factor to the challenge we are having. And when you are able to characterize, you are able to study this, you are able to assess your area of failure in the marriage, and also to acknowledge your area of success, the relationship will go a long way. So Happy Mother's Day to every one of us out there. It is not just about accepting the congratulatory message or the compliment of Happy Mother's Day, Happy Mother's Day. What impact have you made as a mother? It's not just to your children, not just to your home. In the society, in the neighborhood where you live, how many people will truly say she's a good mother indeed? How many people will actually call you a virtuous woman? As I said earlier today in one of the programs I attended, I said a virtuous woman, a mother is first a virtuous woman. And a virtuous woman is a woman who is worth copying, who is worth looking up to as a role model. Are you a role model to someone? In your home, has your children lost hope in feeling that marriage is a sweet thing because of the way you have portrayed your marriage, or because of the place you have placed your marriage in their eyes? Are you a mother that your children will stand up to and say, yes, she's my mother, I'm proud to have her as my mother?